So we need to talk about Khamzat and Islam, guys. In my video that got over 100,000 views, which is crazy, a lot of the comments were that the fight was boring, it was aggressive cuddling, he was hugging JDM for 25 minutes. Now, does that remind you of anything? I'm just asking, because we saw what happened when Khamzat won the title, right? So I'm gonna try and play devil's advocate here, and I'm also gonna obviously be the fan's advocate. To play devil's advocate, I have to ask you guys one question, and I wrote it down. Is UFC about entertainment or seeing the highest level of MMA executed? Because at the end of the day, this is about seeing the highest level of mixed martial arts. Who has mixed martial art that is so dominating, overpowering that the other guy can't do anything about it? Now, the unfortunate thing is when it comes to striking, when a guy has very, very dominant striking, such as Ilia Topuria or Alex Pereira, it's exciting. But when a guy has very, very dominant wrestling, it's boring. They're gonna hold the guy down, and if the guy doesn't give them a submission, then they're just gonna keep them down. The issue with Khamzat and Islam mainly is that they can be a bit too control intensive. If you look at Khabib used to go out there and smash. Like he wasn't just trying to hold you down, he was trying to hurt you when you're on the ground. Islam and Khamzat, they're more about keeping you down, keeping the fight safe, ensuring the win. And I mean, listen guys, to play devil's advocate, if you were on the cusp of winning a UFC title, you're gonna be world famous, the champion, everyone's gonna know your name, your friends and family who supported you for years are gonna finally be proud of you. Would you risk all of that just to be entertaining? Would you rather stand instead of hold down a guy and hug him for 25 minutes and know that you're gonna get your hand raised? I'm not supporting it, I'm just saying. But to play the fan's advocate, we don't want to see that, to be honest. And listen, I'm a wrestler myself. I do wrestling and I do jiu-jitsu. I'm a MMA connoisseur. I like to participate, I like to watch. So as a wrestler myself, I can say that yes, it is very, very interesting and awesome to see the technique, efficiency, skill, speed at which all of these techniques are executed. But is it entertaining? Is it more entertaining than watching Alex Pereira? Is it more entertaining than watching Ilia Topuria? Objectively, no. I know there's gonna be people like, oh, if you don't like watching wrestling and jiu-jitsu, you don't have a brain, go and watch boxing. I like watching it. But is it more entertaining than striking? No. And you're fooling yourself if you say it is. It's amazing to watch the skill level of Islam and comes up to hold down Dricus du Plessis and Jack Della Maddalena, who don't usually struggle in that department, to see how the skill level of these Dagestani fighters are so high that they can just hold down another elite MMA fighter for 25 minutes. Yes, it's impressive, but impressive doesn't mean entertaining. Skillful doesn't mean entertaining. We all know what's entertaining. And it's not Khamzat or Islam. So, listen guys, I think more wrestlers need to verse more wrestlers. If you look at Arman versus Islam, that was a very, very entertaining fight. Why? Arman knows how to wrestle. Islam knows how to wrestle. Put them together, they're not going to hold each other down for 15 to 25 minutes. There's going to be scrambles. There's going to be one guy getting up and re-attacking, like the level of wrestling needs to be similar. And that's why I think Dana's making a big mistake. These wrestlers need to be versing each other more. You can't keep putting a wrestler versus striker matchup, because the wrestler's going to win 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10, the wrestler's going to win. And it's not going to be the most exciting win. So for me, I think the next fight to make for Khamzat Chimaev will be Anthony Hernandez. Anthony Hernandez has very, very good wrestling, offensively, defensively. Yes, very good. Submission offense, submission defense. We saw what he did to Rodolfo Vieira. We've seen what he's done to most of the middleweight division. He's on the longest UFC middleweight win streak without getting a title shot ever, which is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. And I think that if you put him up against Khamzat, it'll be an entertaining match. Do I think he beats Khamzat? I don't know. Probably not. But it'll be entertaining. You need to put Ilia Topuria up against Islam. If Islam versus anyone else, it's not going to be entertaining. Ilia Topuria grew up in Georgia, Germany, etc., Wherever he did wrestling and jiu-jitsu. That's his base. If you go and watch Ilia Topuria's early fights, he's a grappler, a very good grappler. So that's the fights to make, guys. Khamzat versus Anthony Hernandez and Islam versus Ilia Topuria. Please don't let Khamzat fight Alex Pereira. Khamzat's gonna win. He's gonna win. I'm telling you guys. And I think that, unfortunately, we're just gonna have to endure this for a bit, guys. We're gonna have to see what happens. But I think the matchmaking decisions recently have been a bit poor. Mismatches, and I think more wrestlers need to verse more wrestlers. So yeah, you guys can let me know what you think in the comments, but that's just my 2 cents. I think that those are the fights to make to actually help UFC be more entertaining again. And yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.